Life doesn't pause when we're in pain. The world keeps moving, and sometimes we feel left behind. But here's the truth. That's not a reason to give up. It's a reason to rise. Hi, I'm Emily. Today, let's talk about strength, discipline, and what it means to take control. We all face struggles, moments when we doubt ourselves, when life feels too heavy to carry. But those moments aren't the end. They're the beginning of growth. Every challenge hides a lesson. Every failure can shape us if we let it. In this episode, I'll share 7 powerful lessons that can change how you see yourself and your life. We'll talk about resilience, mindset, and the quiet power of discipline. You don't need luck. You don't need permission. You already have what it takes. So take a deep breath, open your mind, and let's begin. Life won't stop when you're in pain. The clock doesn't pause. The world keeps spinning anyway. And that's the hardest truth to accept. Nobody's coming to pick you up when you fall. No one's waiting to check if you're okay. Life keeps going, whether you're ready or not. Hi, this is Emily. Today, let's talk about the first lesson, the truth that life won't feel sorry for you. It sounds cold, I know, but once you understand it, everything starts to change. When you fail, when you lose something, the world doesn't stop to comfort you. Bills still come, the sun still rises, people still go to work, that's reality. And in that reality, you have 2 choices. You can stay down, or you can stand up. Most people stay down. They wait for help, for sympathy, for someone to understand their pain. But waiting keeps you weak. Waiting steals your power. When you say, "Why me?" you hand your strength to the world. You let pain control you. But when you ask, "What now?" everything shifts. What now is the question of warriors. It means you're ready to move. You can't change the past. You can't erase what hurt you, but you can decide what happens next. That decision, to act instead of complain, is where real growth begins. Imagine a man who loses his job. At first, he feels broken, hopeless, angry at life. He wants to stay in bed, but the rent is still due. The kids still need food. He has no time to wait for the world to care, so he gets up. He takes action. He updates his skills, sends resumes, starts small. Step by step, he rebuilds. That man isn't lucky. He's responsible. He chose action over excuses. Or think about a soldier in the middle of battle. He's exhausted, wounded, terrified. But there's no pause button. If he stops, he dies, so he keeps fighting. That's resilience. It's not about never falling, it's about always rising. We all have moments when life hits hard. Maybe you lost someone. Maybe you failed at something big. It hurts. You want to stop. But remember, the world won't stop for you. And that's not cruel. That's the beauty of it. Because it means you have the power to rise anytime you decide to. You don't need permission to stand back up. You don't need anyone to notice your pain. You just need to take one step forward. Even a small step is progress. Every time you rise after falling, you train your strength. You teach your mind to endure. You prove to yourself that you can survive what once felt impossible. Resilience isn't built in comfort. It's built in chaos, in heartbreak, in hard days. When you choose to keep going, you become stronger than you realize. So next time life knocks you down, don't ask, "Why me?" Ask, "What now?" Breathe, stand up. Take one small action, clean your space, call a friend, write your plan. The goal isn't to erase the pain. The goal is to move despite it. Because pain will always visit you, but suffering is optional. And when you decide to rise again, you'll see something incredible. You'll realize that no one, no person, no problem, no setback can truly break you. The world may not care about your pain, but the world will notice your strength. And more importantly, you'll notice it too. So today, when life feels heavy, remember this. You have power. Power to rise, power to rebuild, power to move even when it hurts. Life won't feel sorry for you, and that's exactly why you must rise. Pain, it's something we all try to avoid. But here's the truth, pain isn't your enemy. It's your greatest teacher if you're willing to listen. Hi, I'm Emily, and this is Lesson 2. Today, we'll talk about turning pain into power, because the truth is, pain will find you. No matter who you are, life will bring moments that break your heart, shake your confidence, and test everything you believe about yourself. You can't escape pain. You can only decide what to do with it. Some people run. They hide behind distractions, comfort, or denial, but pain always finds its way back. Others face it. They look pain in the eye and say, "You will not control me." And that's when transformation begins. Pain can destroy you, or it can shape you. The difference lies in your response. Think about this. When a sword is made, it's placed in fire. The metal screams under heat and hammer, but that process makes it strong and sharp. You are the same. The fire in your life, the heartbreak, the failure, the loss, is forging you. Every hit, every burn, every moment you think you can't take anymore is building your strength. Pain carves away weakness. It teaches patience, discipline, and humility. There's a story I love. A man once lost everything: his business, his home, his marriage. He sat in silence for weeks, drowning in sadness. Then one morning, he looked in the mirror. He was still there, tired, broken, but alive. And he said to himself, "This pain won't kill me, it will teach me." So he started small. He exercised every day. He read. He wrote about what he was learning. He worked simple jobs to stay afloat. Months passed. Slowly, his pain became his fuel. Years later, that same man built a new life, stronger, wiser, unbreakable. People called him successful, but he knew the truth. Success was born in suffering. Pain didn't break him, it built him. And that's the same power inside you. Pain is energy. You can let it drain you, or you can use it to move forward. You can say, "This hurts," and stop. Or you can say, "This hurts, but I'm still here." Every wound you carry can become wisdom. Every scar can remind you that you survived. When life hurts, write it down. Pour your thoughts onto paper. You'll see patterns, lessons, and truth. Writing turns confusion into clarity. It gives shape to pain and transforms it into something useful. Then act, even if you're afraid, especially if you're afraid. Pain loses power when you take action. It can't paralyze you if you keep moving. Every small step you take rewires your mind to fight back. Remember, every struggle is training. Losing money teaches discipline. Rejection teaches resilience. Heartbreak teaches empathy. Failure teaches courage. The lessons are hidden inside the pain, waiting for you to find them. And the moment you stop seeing pain as punishment, you start seeing it as preparation. You're being shaped for something greater. The pain that hurts you today will one day be your strength. It's building the version of you that can handle more, dream bigger, and stand taller. So when you feel broken, don't hide. Feel it fully. Cry if you need to, then get up and build. Because pain is not the end. It's the beginning. It's the spark that ignites growth. You are not defined by what hurts you. You are defined by how you rise after it. The world doesn't remember those who never fell. It remembers those who stood up again. So take your pain, use it, shape it, let it make you unstoppable. You are the sword, pain is the fire, and this moment, this challenge is your forge. Let it burn away fear. Let it melt your excuses. Let it sharpen your spirit. And when you emerge, you'll be stronger than ever before. Pain will visit again, but next time you'll know what to do. You'll smile, breathe, and say, "I've been through worse, and I've turned worse into power." That's growth, that's resilience, that's you. We all face problems, some small, some huge, but one truth never changes: they're ours to face. Hi, this is Emily. Today, I want to talk about one of the hardest, yet most powerful lessons in life. Taking responsibility. Because the moment you stop blaming others, your life begins to change. It's easy to point fingers, to say it's their fault, his fault, the system's fault. But blaming is poison. It makes you feel safe for a moment, but it slowly kills your strength. When you blame, you hand over control. You say, "I can't fix it because it's not my fault." But here's the truth. Even if it's not your fault, it's still your responsibility to fix it. That's what separates the weak from the strong. The world is full of people waiting to be saved. But the few who rise are the ones who say, I will save myself. Imagine two people who lose their jobs. The first spends weeks complaining. He blames the boss, the economy, bad luck. His energy goes to anger and excuses. The second feels the same pain but reacts differently. He says, this happened. What can I do now? He learns new skills, applies for work, starts small. He takes ownership of his future. Months later, he's back on his feet, stronger than before. Same problem, different response. The difference, responsibility. The first man gave away his power, the second took it back. Every time you say, I take responsibility, you grow stronger. You take command of your life. Responsibility is freedom, because when you realize your choices matter, you stop waiting. You stop waiting for motivation, for luck, for someone else to fix your problems. You start moving, even without perfect conditions, even without perfect confidence. Many people think they need motivation to act, but motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. Discipline is what keeps you moving when motivation disappears. Discipline means doing what's right, even when you don't feel like it. It's waking up early, working hard, studying and keeping promises, especially to yourself. Each time you act with discipline, you build self-respect. You look in the mirror and see growth. And that feeling, self-respect, is more powerful than praise from anyone else. Think about this. A man without responsibility is like a ship without a captain. He drifts wherever the wind blows, lost, unstable. But a man who takes control of the wheel, even in the storm, always finds his way. He might get hit by waves, but he doesn't sink. Because responsibility gives him direction. It makes him stronger, calmer, wiser. Every day you have a choice, excuses or ownership. Both feel easy at first, but only one builds you. Excuses are soft and sweet. They make you feel safe, but they rot your potential from the inside. Responsibility feels heavy. It demands effort, honesty, and courage, but it builds muscle, real strength. When you take responsibility, you stop lying to yourself. You admit when you're lazy or distracted. You don't hate yourself for it. You simply say, okay, I can do better. Then you do. That's how real progress happens, not from perfection, but from honesty. If you want to grow, start with small actions. Wake up at the same time every day. Make your bed, eat clean food, move your body, read something that challenges your mind. Save a little money. These small routines are seeds of power. Each one says, I'm in control, and over time, those small habits build a strong foundation. Responsibility also means accountability. You hold yourself to a standard. When you fail, you admit it. You learn, you adjust. You don't hide behind excuses. You look at your mistakes and say, this is mine, and because it's mine, I can change it. That mindset transforms everything. It turns weakness into power, chaos into clarity. It's not easy, but neither is staying stuck. Both are hard, so choose the hard that builds you. So the next time you want to blame someone, pause, ask yourself, what can I do differently? Because responsibility doesn't trap you, it frees you. When you carry it, you may feel the weight at first, but with time, it becomes your strength. And one day, you'll look back and realize you built this life. You earned this peace. Not because someone saved you, but because you decided to take responsibility. Hi, this is Emily. Today, we're going to talk about balance, the connection between your mind and body. Because here's the truth. You can't be strong if one part of you is falling apart. A sharp mind inside a weak body will eventually collapse, and a powerful body without a strong mind will lose direction. To rise in life, you need both discipline of the mind and strength of the body. One feeds the other. When you take care of your body, your mind becomes clear. When you train your mind, your body follows with purpose. But most people neglect one side. They chase money, goals, or comfort, and forget the machine that carries it all themselves. Let me tell you a story. There was once a man with a brilliant mind. Sharp, creative, full of ideas. He worked day and night. He built a business, earned respect, achieved what others dreamed of. But he ignored his body. He skipped meals, stayed up late, and treated rest as weakness. At first, he was unstoppable. Then slowly, his body began to fail. His mind became foggy, his energy dropped, his sharpness dulled. Until one day, his success didn't matter because he had no strength to enjoy it. All his achievements meant nothing without health. That's the price of imbalance. Now imagine another man, strong, muscular, disciplined in his workouts, but he never reads. He never learns, never questions, never controls his emotions. His body looks powerful, but his mind is fragile. He reacts to everything. Anger controls him. Pride blinds him. His strength becomes dangerous to himself and others. That's why balance matters. Strength must be complete, physical and mental. You are not truly strong until your mind and body work together as one. So how do you protect both? It starts with daily discipline. Move your body. Exercise doesn't need to be complicated. Walk, stretch, lift, run, just move. Movement is life. When your body moves, your energy rises. When your energy rises, your mind clears. Then feed yourself properly. Your body becomes what you eat. If you fuel it with junk, it becomes sluggish. If you feed it with clean, simple food, it becomes sharp. Eat for energy, not for comfort. Every meal is a choice, weakness, or strength. Sleep. Many people brag about sleeping less, as if exhaustion is success. But a tired mind cannot think clearly. A tired body cannot fight strongly. Sleep isn't a luxury, it's recovery. It's how you sharpen your sword before the next battle. And it will reward you with clarity. And then, protect your mind. What you feed your mind is as important as what you feed your body. Read books, learn from others, challenge your thoughts. Reading gives your mind new weapons, ideas, perspective, and patience. Also, learn to be silent. Meditation isn't just sitting still, it's training focus. When you sit quietly, you face your thoughts. You control your breath, you calm your storms. A calm mind under pressure is stronger than any muscle. The world is loud, full of distractions, opinions, and noise. You must protect your mental space. Guard what you watch, listen to, and believe. If your mind is a battlefield, be careful what you let through the gates. Only allow what makes you stronger. Limit what drains you. Over time, this balance becomes your power. A sharp mind guides a strong body. A strong body protects a focused mind. When one supports the other, you become unstoppable. There was once a man who understood this balance. Every morning, he trained his body, ate clean, and read before work. He didn't chase comfort. He chased consistency. His friends laughed, said he was too strict. Years later, when others were weak, tired, and lost, he was thriving, strong, peaceful, and ready for any storm. That's what balance gives you: freedom. The power to carry heavy loads, face challenges, and stay calm. You don't need to be the biggest or the smartest, just complete. Protect your mind, protect your body, respect them both equally. Because they are your first home. Everything you dream of: success, peace, love, depends on how well you care for them. A weak body will fail your mind. A weak mind will destroy your body. But together, they can conquer anything. Hi, this is Emily. Today, we're talking about wealth, but not the kind you see on social media. Real wealth isn't just money. It's health, peace, knowledge, and connection. Because what's the point of having everything if you don't have yourself? We live in a world obsessed with numbers. Followers, salaries, possessions, the constant chase for more. But the more we chase, the emptier we feel. True wealth begins when you stop counting and start living. Let me tell you a story. There were two men, both successful in different ways. The first had millions in the bank, a mansion, cars, power, everything money could buy. But he was lonely. He ate alone, slept little, and smiled only for photos. His body was tired, his mind was anxious, and his heart was empty. The second man lived modestly. He owned a small home, worked with passion, and valued time with his family. He exercised, read daily, and helped his community without asking for recognition. He wasn't rich in the traditional sense, but he was deeply fulfilled. One night, the rich man couldn't sleep. He sat in silence, surrounded by luxury but filled with regret. He realized he had traded health for success, peace for speed, and love for ambition. At that moment, he understood he wasn't wealthy. He was only rich. Because wealth and richness are not the same. Being rich is about accumulation. Being wealthy is about balance. Money can buy comfort, but it can't buy peace. It can buy medicine, but not health. It can buy followers, but not real connection. It can buy attention, but not respect. True wealth is invisible. You feel it when you wake up healthy, breathe deeply, and sleep peacefully. It's in the freedom to spend time with people you love, to do work that fulfills you. It's in your ability to say no to what doesn't serve you and yes to what makes you grow. Wealth is not something you earn. It's something you build from the inside out. If your body is tired, your mind is cluttered, and your relationships are empty, no amount of money will fix it. You'll always feel like you're missing something, because what you're missing isn't external, it's internal. To be truly wealthy, start by investing in yourself. Wake up early, take care of your body, read something that expands your mind. Protect your peace, it's more valuable than gold. Spend time in silence, listen to your thoughts, heal from what drains you. Learn to be grateful for what you already have. Gratitude turns scarcity into abundance. When you focus on gratitude, you realize how rich you already are. The sunlight, the laughter of a friend, a quiet morning, a warm meal, that's real wealth. You can lose money and earn it back, but you can't buy time, health, or genuine peace. There's nothing wrong with wanting financial success. Money is a tool, a powerful one. But it's not the destination. It's a vehicle to create freedom and impact. Use it wisely. Let it serve your values, not define them. Because the richest people aren't those with the most, but those who need the least. You don't have to chase wealth. You can create it right where you are. Start with self-respect, then build habits that bring energy, peace, and clarity. When you take care of your health, your energy grows. When your mind is clear, you make better decisions. Better decisions lead to better outcomes, including financial ones. It's all connected. That's the beauty of real wealth, it flows from within. So ask yourself, what makes you feel truly rich? Is it the car you drive or the peace in your heart? The size of your home or the love inside it? True wealth doesn't shout, it whispers. It feels like calm mornings, good health, and meaningful work. It's the quiet confidence of knowing you have enough, because you are enough. So today, start building that kind of wealth, the kind that lasts. Because when your heart, mind, and body are full, you'll realize you've been rich all along. Hi, this is Emily. Today, we're diving into a powerful truth: success is the best response. Not revenge, not words, just results. Because when you win, you silence everything else. We all face criticism. People doubt us, laugh at us, or try to pull us down. And sometimes, that noise feels louder than our own voice. But here's the secret: you don't have to argue. You don't have to explain your dreams to people who can't see your vision. You just have to work quietly and let success speak for you. There's a saying I love: a lion doesn't turn around when a small dog barks. Because the lion knows who it is. It doesn't need to prove anything. You're that lion. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your goals or your pace. Let your focus be your message. Let your consistency be your voice. Imagine this: a young woman starts a business. Her friends laugh. They say, that will never work. She feels the sting but stays silent. Every morning she wakes before sunrise, plans, learns, and works. She doesn't post about it. She just builds. Months later, her idea takes off. The same people who mocked her now say, "You're lucky." But it wasn't luck. It was focus. It was the decision to respond with action, not words. That's the beauty of success. It needs no defense. It's undeniable. When you achieve, the world sees what you've been saying all along. And the people who doubted you, they'll rewrite their stories about you. That's why silence is powerful. Energy wasted on proving yourself is energy stolen from building yourself. The best comeback is progress. The best revenge is growth. You don't need to prove anyone wrong. You just need to prove yourself right. Every time you choose effort over ego, you rise higher than those who talk. Because talk is cheap, but effort builds mountains. Think of every great person you admire. None of them spent time arguing with their critics. They spent time improving their craft, mastering their habits, perfecting their focus. Michael Jordan didn't respond to criticism with words. He responded with championships. Oprah didn't argue when people said she wasn't fit for TV. She built an empire. They understood that success echoes longer than any insult. When you stay silent and keep moving, people start noticing. They see your discipline, your patience, your results, and that's when respect begins. Not when you talk about what you'll do, but when you've already done it. And here's something deeper. Success isn't just about money or status. It's about growth, self-respect, and peace. True success is waking up proud of who you've become. When you stop reacting to noise, you protect your energy. And that's when real power grows. Because every time you respond with anger or doubt, you lose focus. But when you channel that energy into action, you create something real. There was once a man who wanted to prove himself. People called him a dreamer, unrealistic. Instead of fighting, he worked. He failed, learned, and improved. Years later, his work spoke louder than his words ever could. When asked how he did it, he said, "I stopped explaining and started doing." That's the mindset of success. No noise, no drama, just quiet, relentless action. If you ever feel misunderstood, don't waste time convincing people. Let your results do the talking. Keep showing up, even when no one's watching. Because the moment you stop seeking validation, you become unstoppable. Let your success be your voice. Let your work be your answer. Every great story begins with doubt and ends with proof. So when they doubt you, smile. When they mock you, stay focused. And when you finally rise, remember, you didn't win because you fought back. You won because you outgrew the noise. That's the difference between reaction and evolution. You are not here to argue. You are here to evolve. And your success, that's your loudest silence. Hi, this is Emily. Today, I want to share one of the hardest truths about life. No one is coming to save you. It sounds harsh, but it's also one of the most liberating realizations you'll ever have. Because the moment you stop waiting for help, you start building real strength. We live in a world that teaches us to wait. Wait for the right time, the right person, the right sign. But nothing changes while you wait. Change begins the moment you take responsibility for your own life. There's no rescue team coming, no miracle moment. It's just you and what you choose to do next. Maybe you grew up thinking someone would notice your effort and give you a chance. Maybe you believed love, luck, or timing would fix everything. But here's the truth. No one can live your life for you. No one can carry your dreams but you. And that's not a sad thing. It's freedom. Because if no one's coming, it means you have the power to act now. You don't need permission. You don't need approval. You just need to decide. Let me tell you a story. There was once a man who hit rock bottom. He lost his job, his friends, and his confidence. For months, he waited for someone to notice, for something to change. But nothing did. One morning, he looked around his empty apartment and said, "No one is coming." And in that quiet moment, he realized something powerful. If no one's coming, it's on him. So he got up. He cleaned his space. He made a list. He started small, applying for jobs, walking daily, reading again. No magic, no applause, just consistency. Weeks turned into months, and slowly his life began to shift. He wasn't waiting anymore. He was moving, and that made all the difference. That's what self-rescue looks like, small steps, taken by you for you. You can't control everything, but you can control your effort. You can control your attitude, your response, your growth. And that control is power, the kind of power that builds unshakable confidence. Every time you solve a problem on your own, You strengthen your foundation. Every time you stand up after falling, you remind yourself, you are capable. Life will test you, people will disappoint you, circumstances will knock you down. But if you learn to rely on yourself, you'll never be powerless again. Because independence isn't about doing everything alone, it's about trusting yourself enough to begin. There's a quiet kind of courage in self-reliance. It doesn't shout, it doesn't seek attention. It simply says, I've got this, even when no one's watching. Maybe you're waiting right now for clarity, for motivation, for the perfect opportunity. But what if the opportunity is already here? What if it's waiting for you to move first? You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to start. Start messy, start scared, start tired, but start. Because motion creates momentum, and momentum changes everything. The people you admire, the ones who seem fearless, they weren't saved either. They saved themselves. They made decisions when it was uncomfortable. They acted when no one believed in them. They built their path brick by brick. You can do the same. You can build a life so strong that you'll never have to wait again. No one's coming to save you, because you are already enough to save yourself. That realization is the moment your life truly begins. You stop looking outward for validation and start looking inward for strength. You stop wishing for change and start creating it. You stop asking, who will help me, and start saying, I'll find a way. That's the shift from waiting to working, from hopping to acting. And once you feel that power, you'll never want to give it away again. So if you're waiting for someone to come and change your life, hear me clearly, they're not coming. But that's the best news you'll hear today. Because the hero you've been waiting for has always been you. And here we are at the end of this journey. 7 lessons, 7 reminders of who you can become. Life will never be easy. It's not meant to be, but it will always be yours to shape. You've learned that pain can become power, that discipline builds peace, that success speaks louder than words, and that no one is coming to save you because you can save yourself. Every sunrise is a chance to begin again. Every failure is a lesson, not a sentence. You are stronger than your fear, wiser than your doubt, and more capable than you think. So take these lessons, not as rules, but as tools. Use them to build a life that feels real. One filled with purpose, strength, and quiet pride. This is your story, your fight, your rise, and it begins right now.